It is time to ask the doctor. You send us the questions and we get the doctor to get you the answers right here on air. Dr. Caitlin Merkin, of course, a surgeon with Mercy Bariatric and General Surgery with us. And as always, glad that you decided to share your time, answer all of our questions. This first one, a doozy from Kathy. She wants to know what is, okay, so it's aspergillus, but you're saying it's just gillus.
Either way.
Either way you say it, you're right, either way. How is it treated?
So aspergillus, this is a fungi that's really common in our environment. It's on trees, decaying leaves. Most strains are completely benign, but there's a few strains where if you're immunocompromised or you have bad lung disease, things like severe asthma or cystic fibrosis, you can get a fungal infection.
Oh.
Most people don't need to be treated for this. If you do become symptomatic, might have things like fever or a really bad cough, there are antifungal medications that are the standard of care. In rare cases, you can get an aspergilloma, which is a fungus ball in your lung, and that can be really severe and sometimes require surgical resection. Again, extremely rare. Don't anticipate that, but that's
it won't happen to you until it does. And I'm told that gillus is Latin, so blame that on the Latin. Anyways, Sarah was curious. She's heard a lot about mRNA vaccines. What's the difference between those and other vaccines, and are they safe?
Okay, so how regular or normal vaccines work is they inject an inactive or weakened portion of the virus into the body. The body learns how to fight that weakened virus and then remembers it for next time. In mRNA vaccines, we give the mRNA, which is messenger RNA, into the patient, which is kind of like a little recipe for your body. Okay. The body's immune system then makes little proteins that signify the virus and then can recognize that in the future. So the differences are is there's no live virus injected into the patient with mRNA vaccines. These vaccines are actually pretty easy to ramp up and scale and massively produce and change if a virus is changing pretty rapidly on us. And they have really good efficacy, greater than 90%. They're pretty safe. One interesting thing is if you get an mRNA vaccine, you might have more of a reaction afterwards, meaning that you feel really tired or have body aches. And that's what we see as kind of normal. It's not a side effect. It's not anything bad. It's just that your body's kind of learning how to fight this illness.
Also maybe a little sore where you get injected? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, sometimes that happens too. The CDC is warning about Chagas disease, also known as the kissing bug disease, if you've ever heard of that, because the bug that spreads it, there's been symptoms in Missouri, so we want to know what Chagas is and how is it treated.
Yeah, this is gross. So Chagas is a parasite that lives in the kissing bug stool. Kissing bugs are called that because they tend to bite faces. They're endemic to Central and South America. We don't see them a lot here. But these bugs, as they bite you, they defecate on you, which then kind of gets into little cuts in your skin and gets into your bloodstream and infects you.
It's pretty gross.
It's super gross. There's an acute phase of the illness, which is often asymptomatic, but you might have things like fever or malaise afterwards. And that happens weeks after the bug bite. Years after the bug bite, there's something called a chronic phase that can happen where people can develop severe heart failure or have digestive problems. And that's where this disease becomes kind of scary. The best treatment is kind of early on in that acute phase if it is identified. Again, all of this stuff is extremely rare, but we have seen a couple cases around the area.
Do appreciate the disclaimer, but it's always something when the doctor's like, this is gross. Rich is writing into us real quick. A local magazine publishes a list of 100 best doctors by specialty each year. How much should that influence a person's choice of a physician?
Rich, this should not influence you. This is widely perceived as a scam. These are for-profit companies that actually ask doctors to pay to be put into their best doctors list. There's no qualifications or objective data that go into this. So I would not rely on that in picking out your doctor. And when you are looking for a doctor, I would look for their board certification, their state licensure. And honestly, word of mouth by your primary care doctor and other doctors in the area is one of the best tools to use.
Perfect. You had the questions, and she had the answers. If you want to ask Dr. Merkin a question yourself, just go to our website and submit your questions at firstalertforward.com/askthedoctor. All right.